Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. And I drive in a race spec Alfa Romeo 33. This is gonna be fun. So this is an Alfa Romeo 33 1.7 from 1988, and it's not completely stock. It's not extremely modified either. It is competing in the Danish hill climb class of modified. It's developing 119 horsepower. Of course it is modified a bit. You can see the wheel geometry is a bit out of the ordinary. And I got the chance to drive this for a couple of hours today. It's legal to drive on the road. It needs to be MOT to compete in these classes, which makes it quite interesting for guys like me to compete in those classes, because you can take your daily driver and actually compete in that. This is a bit beyond daily driver, but in the smaller classes you could actually just use your normal car with a helmet on. But this is a bit more modified, as you will see. This belongs to a friend of mine who helps me out with the Abarth actually. Would you believe it? I never owned a Alfa Romeo. I would like to have one, especially an Alfa Sud Sprint. But I wouldn't say no to one of these either. It's really, really cool. I've done some work to this today, nothing too interesting. I changed oil on the engine and the gearbox, bled the brakes and fixed an exhaust leak. This is the first time I ever work on an Alfa Romeo, and I gotta say, this exact model at least, is very easy to work on. It's really nicely laid out. Gotta say, this is not the most comfortable car I've been in, but I probably cannot blame the Alfa Romeo 33 for that. But it's definitely one of the coolest cars that I have ever sat in, because it just feels so real. Well, it is real. I'm strapped in. So in order to start this thing, firstly I better put on a steering wheel. Probably gonna make the experience just a little bit more interesting. Like that. And then I need to turn on the ignition, the fuel pump, and then start it. Turn on the light like a completely normal car, and then take it for a spin. He told me that it doesn't really feel great steering wise until you really drive it hard and fast, because the geometry is set up for speed and set up for the suspension to be loaded. So the tracking is only good when it's really driving fast. I'm not gonna drive it really fast because it's not legal to drive it really fast on the road. But I'm not gonna take it completely slow either, because it is a race car. This is cool. Got a close ratio gearbox, and it's not a fast car because of that. I think the top speed is 140, but it gets there pretty nicely and quickly. Listen to it. lot of fun. Oh, there's a school bus coming in. I better stop. This is what you kind of fear. Can it go? She wasn't impressed, but she did it. That's great. Let's go. Under normal circumstances, I would have reversed my way out of the way for that bus, but I am not really. It's not completely easy to see where I'm at, so I had to go a bit deep. Listen to this thing. I've driven some fun cars through the years, but this one is in a completely different league. It's not really competing with anything else because it's so different. I would give so much to try this out on a racetrack. That could be so much fun on the normal roads. It's a bit of a weird sensation because I have driven so many racing sims in my life, and the view from this and the sound from this takes me right back to those racing games. And then suddenly there is a bus, someone walking a dog, someone on a bike or something like that, and I just have to remember, oh yeah, I'm just strolling along in the real world, strapped into this little race thing. And also 119 horsepower. It's not a very powerful car. It got less power than my Citroen Visa GTI and way less than my daily XM. But the way it sounds and the way it delivers the power and the close ratio gearbox and all that is insane. Also, I have no idea what I drive because the speedometer stopped working. I got a lot of different gauges, temperature gauges, oil pressure gauges, RPM gauges. Got 2 of those, by the way. They are not completely agreeing on things, but I got a shift light in the middle. Nope, that hasn't lit up so far on my drive. He's completely right about the alignment. The alignment is very weird. It's just so twitchy, wanting to change direction all the time. This car is made for driving fast in bends, not for driving slow in a straight line. It just doesn't really know where to go. Daily this for sure. I'm not sure my family would like it, but this would pretty much fulfill all my needs for a car, maybe except for seatings for the rest of the family. But other than that, the comfort is a bit off. But I could just listen to the overrun of those carburetors. Listen, I don't know how well it picks up in here in the microphone, but just listen. This is if there is a heaven, heaven is going to sound exactly like this. Drive past the castle just because I can. Speed limit is 20. It's about here. Probably. Maybe a little bit less. I have to do a bit of overrun to get it down to 20. And national speed limit. This car does not like to go on power and then off power in the traction or the steering angle department. It just changes direction completely randomly. It needs to be loaded up, as mentioned earlier. I did some servicing to this car, very minor stuff. I got some help with the rust repairs on my Abarth, and I got the chance to drive this a bit. It's not the worst day in my life, I gotta say. It's probably one of the better ones. This is amazing. Anyway, this is going to be all for now. Thank you for watching. This was probably a pretty short video, but I got the chance to drive this one, and it was too much fun to just pass on and not make a video about. This is really, I love wrenching, but this test driving weird things is almost as good as that, and it's especially nice to just do something different sometimes. So this was a really nice treat. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can support me. There is a Patreon link down below. And see you in the next one.